did a response a while back to a guy named The Final Answer, and I don't know what he said. Actual Jake confused why sleeping with 100 men is disgusting. Is he just responding to me, or am I responding to him? Yeah, I mean, Actual Jake wrong on sex conservatives and everything. So, just wrong about it all. He had an old video that he had picked of mine, I guess, 10 months ago. Anyway, he just uploaded this, and you guys sent it to me, so I saw it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. Here is Actual Jake, me, confused why sleeping with 100 men is disgusting. Quotes Lily Phillips. Yeah, I don't care. Sleep with whoever you want.
This is someone called The Final Answer, which sounds like Nazi stuff.
Well, we're back, I guess, with some more Nazi stuff. I'd like to talk about Actual Jake's video on Lily Phillips. She being the woman who slept with over 100 men in a single day.
Yeah. Is sleeping with 100 women disgusting? Of course not. That is Chad stuff.
Actual Jake accused me last time of hiding behind books, an exceptionally weird insult. And the book today I'll be hiding behind is The Case Against the Sexual Revolution.
Hiding behind book. Well, so you do a thing where you're like, look at this book. This is the opinion that it gave me. You know what I mean? Instead of like using your opinions and like citing the book. You know what I mean? Like you did this last time too, if I recall correctly, where it's just like, here is my argument from this book. Okay.
It's a really...
Why don't I talk to that guy then?
a good book and a good countervail against
the Case Against the Sexual Revolution. Hey man, without even having to read it, whatever the sexual revolution is in this guy's head, your sexual liberation and just the freedom for you to express sexually is good. Like, you should be able to do that and explore yourself and the sex, whether it's sex you have with people or just sexuality insofar as attractions or self-expression, or, you know, it doesn't always have to be about making you come or whatever. Like, sexuality is a lot of different things. It's also about, like, how you seek companionship and everything. Anyway, yeah, you should be able to do whatever, you know, have freedom. I don't know how you could be against that. Let's hear it.
Against Actual Jake's position.
Matt Walsh is very upset.
Is this... Do I have to turn up... That's your highest quality there?
About
wowzers. Okay. Do you have internet connection issues? You can... How did you rip this from the internet? Do a better job. How's this so low quality?
People consenting to do things.
Look at this chat. It's like blurry as fuck.
That he wouldn't do.
Nazi position, in case it isn't clear, is to be concerned for women in this case.
Concerned for women. I don't think you just saying what you are doing is shameful is helping or being concerned about women. I think you being personally icked by what someone else is choosing to do is your prerogative, but I don't think you can make moral judgments on people consenting to do stuff together. Like, you just want her to not be able to do it, right?
To be concerned for women that are doing things that isn't conducive to happiness.
Why isn't it conducive to happiness?
Having intercourse with 100 men. Probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea. But why? But the White Knight Manual said you have to say, yeah, you have. So this is a virtue signal at best. I think you're just uncomfortable with and sort of like there's a jealousy involved when men see a woman do something and it isn't with them. Like there's so much possessiveness over her sexuality. That's strange for someone you've never met.
Very controversial.
Lily Phillips is a woman who recently went viral. She decided to have sex with 100 men in one night.
In fact, it's an adult that just consented to do things with other adults?
I won't mask the words as my own. I'll read directly from the aforementioned book.
Do you see what I'm saying? I won't use my own opinions in my video. All right. Say the book.
Liberal feminism, in its populist guise, is focused mostly on a woman's right to choose, or consent. Construed...
I love consent being in fucking quotes there. Anyway, so I reject this book and the person who wrote it. I think they're stupid.
Incredibly thinly, Everything and anything goes, as long as you choose or consent to it at the time.
Yes. What do you mean? You absolutely, if you consent to something, you can, with other people, you can do it. Like, for instance, we you know, because you get all weird about sexuality or whatever, two men who are not attracted to each other and are very heterosexual, and they have wives, okay? And they both fear God. Two men can sit down at a table together and choose to, for instance, kill each other, like in a Russian roulette style situation, like a bet. You know what I'm saying? You have no problem with that. Way more extreme than having sex with people. Murdering each other is way more extreme than having sex. Even if you have weird sex, even if you spank or choke while you have sex, way more extreme to kill each other. But you have no problem with two men like choosing to beat the shit out of each other in a UFC ring, more extreme than having sex with a bunch of people. You have no problem with people going to war. You have no problem with genocide or apartheid, for instance, which are abjectly more immoral acts, but they're backed by a state or something, so that makes them justifiable to your brain. So these are people that without coercion on the outside, although you could argue that capitalism coerces people to make decisions they wouldn't otherwise, but you're not ready for that conversation in regards to Lily Phillips. Anyway, people consenting to do something that isn't going to ultimately harm them in a similar degree to martial conflict it's sex. That is objectively less immoral to do than to go to war, for instance. Just to go to war is more immoral than have sex with a bunch of people. And it's obvious. It's obvious. Holy shit. When you're pressured by peers or partners or wider cultural influences to join a church, believing that you want the love of Christ, when later you come to recognize that the whole thing was bad for you. If you ask an apostate, this is their exact experience with religion. Anyone who's left the church has the exact relationship with religion as this. It was bad for them. They were peer pressured by their community to believe in untrue things that harmed them, and the community itself usually harms them. Insane, man. You are genuinely not ready for this kind of analysis to be placed on anything that you hold dear, because it, of course, falls apart. Genuinely surprising you would bring up manufactured consent here. I mean, not really, I guess, because you don't understand the concept of consent.
Like, for example, having sex with 100 men in one day.
Which you can consent to do, and it is safe. You can do it safely.
And just to be clear, as an adult, I think she should be able to do it. But we should, as a society, admonish this behavior.
I disagree. I admonish your behavior instead. And I think that we should, as a society, admonish your behavior of trying to tell people that they can't do what they want to do with consent. Like, how is this genuinely any different from people choosing to fight each other to bloody pulps? Two people could choose ethically together and consent together to lop each other's fingers off with a knife. People have done this. This is a thing that people have done. People have chosen to duel each other to the death to settle disputes that were not worthy of the effort. You know what I'm saying? Happens a lot. You have no problem with them consenting to do extreme bodily harm to each other. But in very mild cases of sexual interaction where this is not extreme bodily harm, this is just a lot of people to have sex with. Most people don't have sex with 100 people. Yep, that's it. Your argument is trash.
Not celebrate it like actual Jake does.
Absolutely.
It would seem obvious to most.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I celebrate it. It's just like, you can do it. I don't care. I didn't watch the Lily Phillips thing. I don't give a shit. What are you talking about? You guys are the ones freaking out. What do you mean celebrate it? It's not celebrating a thing to say I am fine with it and have no ethical compunctions. She could do whatever she wants.
People that we should discourage this type of behavior. But for
disagree.
them, this is liberating because a woman is choosing, free from the shackles of conservative prudishness. Yes,
but it's not. I don't agree with it because a woman is choosing. Any person, regardless of their gender, can choose to do anything. If this was a guy having sex with 100 women, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it wouldn't be. I would have the same take. I don't mind. Like, why do you? I'm sure that video exists. One guy has sex with 100 women. 100 women, one-man porn videos. There you go. I got them. Totally fine. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
And she's saying that it was a pretty horrible experience. What do you know? It wasn't very enjoyable.
Feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it's not like just having sex with someone.
yeah. just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Yeah, like I guess maybe the piano, and then so their little lizard brains, Matt Walsh's little brain is like cued by the piano music. I don't even understand.
If she looks sad after what is understandably not a pleasant experience,
She didn't look sad. She looked exhausted. Have you ever had sex, man? That's a lot of sex to have. That's a physically exhausting endeavor.
that's just the piano music, you guys. Let's watch the clip without piano music
Sure.
to see if she looks any happier.
Intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Still seems sad? Well,
Dude, she seems exhausted from the process. Ask her about it. Is she sad about it? Ask her.
actual Jake offers another explanation.
What? And so they think that she's like sad or something because her eyes were probably watering during the experience.
It's hard to tell if he's genuinely that naive. It's pretty obvious that she's upset. And
She's upset. She's exhausted. She wants to do it again with even more dudes. Right. I don't understand. I don't understand why you're upset. If she's not upset, I mean, I guess you're going to claim that you care about her or something, which is fucking weird white knight shit because you don't. I don't even care if she's upset. Who cares? It was her choice to do. I mean, yeah, literally, we could steel man the argument if she is upset and she's choosing to do it again anyway. I don't know, man. What's she upset about? Have you talked to her about it? What's happening here is exhaustion, and that's a lot of fucking.
it's pretty funny that actual Jake doesn't give a shit while pretending to care about women.
What do you mean doesn't give a shit? Care about women. Caring about women is not telling women not to do stuff. Even if it's something that you wouldn't do. Like, I wouldn't fuck 100 men. I just can't change that, man. I don't know what to tell you. She has the right to choose to do things even if she doesn't 100% like everything she does. Just like you do. Like, huh? I feel like Jake cares about me because he doesn't give a fuck about what I do. Like, it's kind of it. I don't care how you... Like, your pursuit of happiness or just your pursuit of experiences. Like, she could literally just make the argument, I just wanted to experience what it's like. And now I know what it's like. And I'd like to do even more. Like, that's fine. I don't care. There's no ethical argument that you could make that would make me think, no, you can't let people do that. Like, she's an adult. She can consent. She can think. Yeah, it's crazy to say that she can't do stuff.
Feminists demand that we celebrate a woman's sexual freedom, but then when a woman makes a really
Celebrate sexual freedom. I don't care if you don't have to celebrate it. You don't even have to acknowledge it. Like, it's just to understand that we all have sexual freedom is enough.
bad choice with her sexual freedom, suddenly she's a damsel in distress and it's everyone's fault but her own.
No, it's literally you making her a damsel in distress. She's not one. You're pretending she is. Both of you. All the conservative bros. They're like, oh, God. Oh, she's so obviously upset. And it's like, she says she wants to do it again, man. If she's upset about this for whatever reason or any intense things that happened, you know? I heard there was some bad behavior by some of the people involved, and that's probably what was the most stressful part. But overall, everyone was there doing what they agreed to do. She says anything, she's mind control. Dude, they can't imagine that people want to do stuff that they don't want to do. Like, did you have this take about people who modify their bodies into be lizards or whatever? Like, they can't do it. That's more extreme than having a bunch of sex, in my opinion. It's more permanent. There's lots more stuff going on, and I don't care at all. I don't give a shit. You can turn your butt. You can do lizard stuff. You can get sharpened teeth and scales and everything. I don't care. That's dope. Do it. If that's what would make you happy, fucking go for it.
This is where I slightly disagree with Matt. I do see her as a victim.
Of course you do.
A victim of leftist ideology.
Not a victim of capitalism in any capacity. The argument you made earlier with the book was that society-wide she could be fucking pressured. Like, what? No one's pressuring her to do it unless you mean monetary incentivizing. Then, of course, you could make an argument that she is somewhat coerced into doing something maybe she wouldn't do for free because there's money involved. I don't have anything to do with being a leftist.
They consistently pretend that there's no biological differences between men and women.
What? What are you talking about? Biological differences? What does that have to do with anything?
What are you talking about? If this is one guy having sex with 100 women, you wouldn't care? It's like women and men are going to have a different kind of relationship with sex because of the way the patriarchy works, man.
According to Jake, the reason men and women have a different relationship with sex is because of the patriarchy. So by changing these cultural norms, say for example, having sex with 100 men, you're fighting the patriarchy.
The patriarchy. I don't know about fighting the patriarchy. Like, you sure do like to say stuff I'm not saying, that's for sure. I don't think you're fighting the patriarchy, air quotes, by living free. I think you have a different reaction to this than a man sleeping with 100 women because of patriarchal ideation in your tiny brain.
Go, girl. Even though we know this is stupid, because of the concept of parental investment. Through biology, women bear the burden of producing offspring. It suits men if women are licentious. You're doing something you don't want to do for the benefit of porn users who are majority men and left.
So the majority men, that's interesting. So you think that the porn industry is patriarchal in structure? Fascinating. Your admission.
Wingers will tell you that you're fighting the patriarchy. How?
Fighting the patriarchy? Why are you talking about reproduction here? This like fucking 100 people has nothing to do with reproduction. Like, what are you talking about? This is irrelevant.
How embarrassing. And that's the...
Yeah, how embarrassing to bring up reproduction in this scenario. Are you freakish? This is some fucking, like... Who's that guy who used to be really worried about Taylor Swift's womb? I can't remember his name. Stefan Molyneux. That guy. You sound like Stefan Molyneux. Really concerned about Lily Phillips' womb. Why are you bringing up reproduction? Fucking does not need to cause reproduction, and certainly this didn't.
Irony in this whole thing. Feminists who are meant to be looking out for your interests are encouraging you to do something that's conducive to disaster.
Disaster. So nothing disastrous happened to Lily Phillips whatsoever. She's fine. She's going to make money from this and she wants to do it again. Nothing. There's no disasters. I don't know. Like, saying it's disastrous and it being disastrous are totally different things. Lily had a nap and then she was fine. Like, for real. That's forever.
Oh, but she says she wants to do it. Let's look at Linda Lovelace.
Linda Lovelace is a different person who was coerced by her abusive husband into the porn industry so that he could pay his betting debts. Okay, that's different, isn't it? Isn't that a totally different person and situation? Goddamn. That said, I don't think she has accused any of the people that she had sex with on camera as being necessarily rapey or anything. Like, it was about the coercion of the husband to push her into the situation.
Porn actress, later anti-porn activist. Mm-hmm. Again, to quote from the book.
Do you think she's going to mention patriarchal structures in this?
This is a consistent pattern. Women who have worked in the industry will conform to the liberation narrative while they're still part of that industry and share the dark side of their experiences only once they've left. And this actress said, "One by one, all my boundaries were crossed. Did I ever tell my fans that? Of course not. If you had asked..."
So that is literally men. The patriarchal structure of porn. And that was in the past. And now women are self-producing porn on OnlyFans without this structure and reporting that they have a much better time and they're making more money because there's no fucking middlemen literally siphoning cash away from the people actually doing the labor, like always. And you're still mad about it.
Ask the fans. I did the most hardcore sex scenes because I got into porn to act out all my fantasies on camera. That's gonna sound familiar.
And so, no, I do this job because I love it so much.
I love it so much.
So when these women say their experiences were bad in the porn industry, I totally believe them. And when she says that she loves her job, I believe her. But it's interesting that you can only accept a sex negative viewpoint of this. And this isn't even sex negative, by the way. These people are talking specifically about Men violating boundaries and using monetary coercion to get what they want out of these people. You are not talking about what Lily Phillips is going through at all. Your brain is fucking broken because you can't have a good relationship with sex. Like, you genuinely are just grossed out and made icked by the idea of people having promiscuous sex that isn't for procreative purposes because you've been taught that by your fucking culture. You're wrong.
So no, I do this job because I love it so much.
I love it so much.
Yeah, she's literally just saying I love it so much.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Okay, so go ahead and play the rest of this documentary and go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah. Go past this clip and you'll see.
And so no, I do this job because I love it so much.
Yeah.
You'd have to be an idiot to believe that narrative.
Okay.
What? And so they think that she's like sad or something because her eyes were probably watering during the experience.
Yeah, if you say so, buddy.
To me, obviously money in every job is a big thing, but it's not about the money for me. It's about
You said you did this to give back to your OnlyFans that afforded your lifestyle.
It's nothing to do with money, guys. She's just a party girl looking for a good time.
Nothing to do with money. So your problem is with capitalism and the hold it has on people's labor? Because then we could talk about that, but you don't have that critique because you are a capitalist and you enjoy it. So you don't have a leg to stand on unless you take my position. You're fucked, buddy. You have to decide where you agree with me. That's fucked up, man.
If she just happens to make a book or two while doing it, then so be it. It's liberating.
A book or two. Dude, this got this Peaky Blinders ass shit going on. Exhaustion, overwhelm is so easy to see there, and adding lots of miles of context out of thin air. Right, and then afterwards she says she wants to do it again. It's irrelevant. It's just like, I don't know why you're so upset.
You think that there must surely be some kind of like moral issue here for you to describe, but that you can't find one. They all consented.
This is why this is so funny. It's a woman being degraded and
A woman being degraded. Do you give a shit when IDF soldiers degrade Palestinian women and children? Do you care? No. The context is different. This woman chose. I only like when women and children are degraded against their will in wartime by murderous psychopaths. Like, eat shit. Say something nice. Poonage's Matt Walsh looks good in this.
humiliated in order to get money. And you would think the anti-capitalist feminist would speak up, but no.
An anti-capitalist. Yes, I am anti-capitalist. That's true. You keep calling me a feminist, which is funny. I mean, that's fine. I guess I am. I never make like I'm a feminist content. It's just like pretty obvious that human beings can choose to consent to do different activities, and it has like nothing to do with feminism for me. You could call it that, but it's literally just a freedom issue. It has nothing to do with her being a woman.
It's the other way around. He's celebrating the fact that a woman who's desperate for fame and money is
Desperate for fame and money. A capitalism issue that you're projecting onto her, of course. I don't know if she's desperate for fame and money, but she's doing things for money. So if you don't pay gate survival necessities and you don't keep survival necessities in markets, you will see less of this behavior that you say that you're opposed to, because then people's survival won't be predicated on how many dollars they've made. But obviously you can't square that with your ideology because you have to adhere to capitalism is very good. But obviously your critique is here that capitalism is coercing this person into doing things she wouldn't otherwise do. That's your take. And also that women don't have the freedom to choose to do things that make you feel icky.
potentially ruining her life. What about the...
It's not ruining her life. She's made more money than you're going to make in your fucking life doing this. Like, it's just not happening. Your life is more ruined than her life is, you know?
woman who was paid to choke herself and end up dying? Wow.
Woman dies while performing degrading webcam sex for perv? Damn, dude. So Amazon workers also die while performing jobs for perverts. David Carradine, you remember the famous actor Kill Bill? Bill and Kill Bill? He autoerotic asphyxiated himself to death also, but that was just for getting off. Was that immoral? So it's immoral here that she did degrading web sex. Like, I don't care if she chokes herself when she gets off. What I care about is that she felt coerced due to her job. She needed more money to live, and that's why she was doing this job, right? Most likely. That's the thing I have a problem with. I have no problem with David Carradine doing the same exact fucking thing, getting off and then dying in the process. There's no ethical issue there. It sucks. It's bad luck. I don't wish him death for wanting to choke and come at the same time, but that's what happened. He flew too close to the sun. In this case, she's a victim, most likely, of the coercion of capitalism. But at the same time, like, she's also consented to do the sex act. I don't think that's particularly bad to do. You can get choked and come at the same time. Lots of people like it. It is unlucky, however. Lots of people do this and don't die. So, yeah, I mean, your critique here continues to be capitalism, so you're going to have to confront that, I guess.
Oh, so liberating, I guess. They both...
Why do you keep saying the word liberating? I'm not using the word liberation whatsoever. I'm using the word freedom because people have the freedom to choose.
consented and she wanted the money.
Are they all tested?
So testing wasn't mandatory, but it was obviously, what's the word?
A requirement, desirable?
There'd be priority if they got a test.
Okay.
Testing wasn't a priority. That's how
Testing wasn't. No, you misheard that. They were given priority if they were tested.
it's kind of dangerous.
Not if you take the correct precautions. You're not testing these people. You're not. You said they're not mandatory.
I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do.
You're not. You would be able to do what you want to do. You're just not caring.
Well, this guy admonishing her is irrelevant. She is saying that they met her standards, and that's all it needs to be done. That's all that needs to be done.
I wouldn't be able to find 100 guys to show
off.
She's admitting to not screening these guys properly.
So at best, so say she didn't screen any of them, which isn't the case, but say she didn't screen 100 out of 100, okay? There's no ethical difference here. All it is a little more risky for STIs. That's it. Like, do you give a shit that soldiers have high risks of malaria or whatever when they're going to do colonialism? No! You don't give a fuck because that's a governmental sanctioned murder of people, even though only 1/2 of them consent. You would be fine if she was a Palestinian woman and there was 100 IDF soldiers that came in and did the same thing untested because they thought that they were doing their duty to the state. You can't with your worldview have a quality argument against this.
Because she needed to get 100 people.
Does this guy also have a moral crusade against Jackass? Oh, yeah.
So the guy here asks why she didn't go for less, maybe 30 guys.
But what difference would it make? Why did you need that 100?
This guy right here seems very uncomfortable by it anyway. Why'd you have to do 30? Why couldn't you do 30 instead of 100?
Do you not go more viral and be more successful?
No.
If it says fucked 100 guys
successful.
in one day.
Yeah, definitely that's why.
So she's sacrificing her safety because she wants to go more viral.
Dog, what the fuck? You guys remember Shoe Nice? Where's your Shoe Nice video, dude? That guy was drinking handles of fucking moonshine for a few clicks. Where's your Shoe Nice video? She made, oh man, her safety wasn't 100. Damn, that's crazy. Can guys bungee jump? Can you jump out of a fucking plane? Can you do anything with any sort of danger now? I see guys in those fucking flying suits jump off mountains, and they have like head can people do that? Like, huh? He ate deodorant. You don't have this same thing on other topics. It's just because it's about sex and it's a woman doing it. You're just misogynist, dog.
But yeah, it's not about them.
I bet this dude hates pro wrestling. I know, right? Oh my God. Sometimes they cut themselves with razor blades so that the blood flows, so that the ratings go up and more people go, whoa, wasn't that gnarly? That's crazy, dude. Evil Knievel, unethical.
I have a better analogy.
Than Evil Knievel? I doubt it. Let's see.
Football
is a better analogy.
Football players. Everyone celebrates football.
Yeah. Not this guy.
We have fucking a whole,
this guy's British or something.
Industry around football. Meanwhile, all the players have been shown to
CTE,
get
baby.
CTE and severe brain damage
Yep.
from fucking football.
Uh-huh.
We celebrate it.
It's
as
a
a culture.
billion-dollar industry. How do you feel about gambling, buddy? Or is that too fine with? Are you okay with capitalism at all times, or what? Like, I think being a middle linebacker in the NFL for 13 years is more harmful than having sex with 100 men once. Just saying.
Money. It's because you love it so much. Tee-hee. But
So your argument continues to be capitalism is bad. That's fine with me. We can talk about that.
yeah, anti-capitalist, feminist, actual Jake doesn't care.
No, I don't care. Why would I care?
A woman desperate for money and fame,
Yeah.
being exploited by the greedy porn industry for the benefit of men.
The porn industry. She produced this thing herself on OnlyFans. She did it for herself. What do you mean the porn industry? She made tons of money off of this. She made the money. The fuck? What men? Like the benefit of men? Do you mean the benefit of men, the ones who jack off to the video? Sure, if that's the benefit. Women own more of their own production now, and it drives the men fucking crazy. A lot of the problem they have with this is the lack of exploitation. Like, she's less exploited in this situation than many actresses in porn have been before, having sex with comparable numbers of men.
Who cares? Oh yeah, she's just doing it because she loves it. I forgot.
She can like it, want money, and want fame from it all at the same time. She can do all of those things. None of those are mutually exclusive. I guarantee you she wouldn't do this for free. It doesn't sound like she wants to do it for free. So that's a capitalism problem. I think she would still fuck for free and have more sex for free. She'd probably have fucking all kinds of sex for free. I don't know about 100 guys coming through and filming it for nobody, but maybe. I know that there's people who would do that. I have no problem with that. Like, if you have an issue with capitalism, then, I mean, let's change it, buddy.
But when MrBeast cures people's blindness for content, that's
when MrBeast cures blindness for content. So the problem, the critique on the MrBeast giving people money to do that was not MrBeast is a piece of shit for doing that. MrBeast is bad in general. He's like widely unethical in general, and throwing money at it and then, you know, giving to charity and filming it is pretty gauche and gross, especially because he makes it for content, is going to make more money than he spent on it. But the big thing that people were talking about was that it was about healthcare access and the lack of it in America, and another capitalism critique, and that Jimmy didn't spend enough time on that, and doesn't, because the message of the video was, look how nice Jimmy is. It wasn't, look, people need help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, anyway, he's a bad boss, he's a liar, and he's abusive. Yeah, that's all true.
That's exploitation, you guys.
It is exploitation.
Remember, curing people's blindness for content is exploitation. The porn industry paying someone to have sex with 100 people for the benefit of men, not exploitation.
For the benefit of men. Who are the men benefiting? What does that mean? Are you against exploitation? If you're opposed to exploitation, you should start to be an anti-capitalist.
That's liberation.
Impoverished people for content.
She's not impoverished.
And harvesting their fucking tears and their struggle for the enrichment of themselves.
But MrBeast didn't make her do it. If MrBeast made her do that, I would have a problem. Like I have a problem with the Lovelace thing, because her husband was abusive.
Themselves for a pittance, in their opinion.
But what's the problem with MrBeast curing their blindness? Did they not consent? Even if you believe...
What? Did they not consent? We're not opposed to them having medical care. He didn't pay for this? It was a lie? He didn't even fucking pay?
Believe that Lily Phillips...
He didn't pay for the blindness cures, and the doctor's doing it, says he was supposed to also be paid, but Jimmy still hasn't paid him? What the fuck? We shouldn't have to rely on charity to get people medical care, is the point.
...was happy doing what she was doing. Are the blind people not happy to have their blindness cured? Why...
This is a terrible argument. It doesn't even track.
...is one exploitation and the other not?
What?
You think that there must surely be some kind of like moral issue here for you to describe, but that you can't find one. They all consented. I don't know why they're all upset.
What's surprising, Jake, is that you're not upset.
Why would I be upset?
A woman being exploited in exchange for money at the behest of men?
That is not what happened. The behest of men. Because men wanted to see her fuck 100 men? That's her OnlyFans shit. That's her producing it. There is less exploitation in that than, than any of the other examples you gave.
I need him to explain to me what job Lily Phillips can have that is not exploiting her body in some way to make someone else rich. Tell me what job she should do that's not porn.
I don't think there is a job that you could have that without cutting out a boss situation. And even then, there's, what job? Where can you get hired to not be exploited for your blood, sweat, your body? Like, you're just upset she was naked?
Sounds like your job.
Sounds like your job? I'm like a porn guy? A little bit. We have similar, I think streaming is similar to doing OnlyFans in the way that we interact with our audiences. And I think there's a level of exploitation in revealing parts of your life and your personal time and your home and your family and whatever. But I've consented to all of that, right? So I get to do that. Anyway, we spent a little bit of time on it, but it's obvious that this guy can't think right. Like, every time he has a critique, it undermines his own worldview. So, yeah, man, I'd be happy to talk with you about exploitation and capitalism, though. That'd be a fun conversation that you would fail at. Maybe, you would fail at defending your position, and you would, it would be in your best interest just to agree, I think. Because then, or to come around, to be able to agree, not just to agree for the sake of it, but to be able to agree, to understand the point of it. But you can't. You're lost in the fucking sauce, brother. That was the end.